Okay, welcome back. No, I'm struggling with components. I just want to spend them all on either fighting vehicles or destroyers. But what were you saying, Tim, about these ships? What have we got up here?
Tim?
Brilliant, my mic was muted. Sick. Right, yeah. So I was on my way to Awagla to basically just flatten that city, stop his boat production, and Algeria's boat production, that is, and run into a cruiser and two level 3 destroyers. Obviously, the level 3. And I hit them once, expected a reaction. Didn't get a reaction, so I'm currently about 13 ahead of him on attack and defense stats, and he's down to like 99 health, I think. I'm gonna try and catch up a bit and get them back in view.
Are you
Is
on?
he running away from you?
Yeah, well, no, they're just on their path, like as they were. I don't think so. He hasn't got any fire controls or anything.
He didn't attack you back, right? When you
No,
attacked
they didn't
him?
attack back.
And
So
that would.
I'm just gonna hit him again, like with an even bigger stats difference. We'll do even more damage this time.
Or maybe he does have fire controls on, but he's path to attack a city.
Maybe.
Would that change things?
I'm not sure. I can't really remember how it
Basically,
works too
it's
well.
another security council thing, isn't it? So you've got a few options, and these can apply to ground troops and boats, right? Or is it just boats?
No, it can be anything that basically has a distance gun, like the rocket launchers, boats. You can put fire control on, can't you? He's got to have that. If he didn't fight you back, go on. You were saying.
So I mean, you could set it to not attack anything, or be highly aggressive and attack absolutely everything. Or there's some select ones like you only return fire, so it's only if somebody attacks you first. And what's the other option?
I think maybe only follow your orders. Oh, there he is, just popped up.
Yeah. I'll default that would be. But most people have it on default where I believe if you get attacked in a boat, you don't automatically hit back. You have to manually select it. And it makes these naval battles a lot swingier, right? So just having an extra troop in your stack will be a massive boost. Because you don't get any kind of defensive bonuses. There are bonuses for being in like high seas and low seas, depending on your unit. Destroyers don't change, do they?
No, they don't change. It's mainly the subs that change.
And then there's the other element. Like I think it's if you're in shallow waters, then you're constantly healing with the boats, the same as you would be on a city. So, and not to mention that they're just quicker everywhere. So really, like having naval superiority and just having that extra unit like you have goes a long way, because he's built cruisers, which are the strongest unit on sea, and he's built destroyers, but he just hasn't brought the numbers in, and he hasn't paid attention to his naval battles.
I've just realised an update that I've never seen before, but then I haven't been on the game in a while. If you click on a stack like Tim's or Algeria's and you hover over the attack and defense stat, it brings up a list of what you'd attack and defend against other things like subs and helicopters.
Yeah.
It's like the total. Do you remember when you'd click on a stack and then it would show like attack stats, but we always wished it would show you the combined attack stats.
This has been a thing on mobile forever, and it's really annoyed me that you can't do this. I'm convinced this is new.
Yeah, I don't remember ever hovering on that and seeing that before. I'm sure in the months that we were playing this, one of us would have done that at some point.
Oh yeah, all the time.
I don't remember that at all.
I've done it all the time, but I've had to go specifically on mobile to do it before.
All right.
Nice.
And it's so important to consider, like, just before a big battle, I'm like, right, what's my combined attack and defense? And you can't just tell from the troop breakdown, because it depends on your troops' health, because that pro-ratas their damage, and it depends on the environment they're in.
Yeah.
Tim, you've got half an hour till you can next hit him. Their stack's going at 225. Yours is going at 225. Are you in range?
Yeah, I'm in range at the moment.
Nice. So you can just keep on him for the next half hour, and then you can hit him again.
Yeah, I think the next attack will do quite a bit more. His stats were something like 28 or 30 defense when he was on full health. So we were actually quite evenly matched. If he had hit me first, it would have been a different battle. But because I've got the hit in and he hasn't hit back, I'm now just way more, even stronger now in comparison. So
that's
nice.
the thing, isn't it? Like with ground troops, if you're going into melee combat, is that whose phone is that? Oh, sorry, that's mine. Sorry about that. Yeah, if you're going into man-on-man combat, then you take damage when you attack, right? Because you've got to take into account your opponent's defense stat. But in naval warfare, unless you're getting hit back, you don't take any damage.
I hadn't realised that. That's a cool feature. Oh, is that new, or has it always been like that?
It's always been like that, hasn't it? And I guess it's the same with any kind of ranged battle units, right?
Great.
But that's something really significant to consider. You don't have close quarters combat with boats, really.
We'll see what happens in that boat battle, but it looks like Tim's got the advantage there, thank God, because this gold player ain't no broke player, and ain't getting no broke too soon either. So we're just going to keep chipping away at him, and I decided to peel off. If you don't mind, I'll show a little run I'm making. So I'm going into Libya, attacking their bubble, their domed city. So we're just going to have to see what's in there. I've got 3 armoured fighting vehicles and a troop. So a troop helps take land. 3 armoured fighting vehicles to take the bubble. But interestingly, once I've taken the bubble, I could leave an armoured fighting vehicle and go on with the troop and the other 2 fighting vehicles. You don't need to leave a troop on a city to defend it. In the meantime, I'm pumping out Mobile Sam and shortly, in about an hour and 6 minutes, armoured fighting vehicles. So I'm able to increase production now. But what have you observed from our gold players so far?
Well,
recently
we had a bit of disaster overnight, didn't we? We decided we're going to take another run at his capital to destroy some of his buildings overnight. And Tim, you got away unscathed, but unfortunately, he was patrolling some air superiority, and about 4 in the morning, he spotted my planes going over and attacked them. I've been left with 1 plane. Not only that, just before we went to bed, he sent some troops down the west coast to Tim when he was asleep. 6 troops, and they managed to take 3 cities, and they killed a stack of, I think, 4 of your troops, Tim?
I can't remember honestly what I had on. I think the city it was no, I think it was just 1 troop. It was just on this Drager.
You had a big battle on Drager. There was at least 4 troops there.
Oh really?
Yeah, and he just went out.
Oh, fair enough.
But you, so I think he came out of that battle with 5 or 4 troops, and then your strikes killed the rest. And now you're cleaning up. So, but how are you planning on defending this west coast now? Like, what is going to be your strategy?
I'm just looking back at the log.
We've got a radar blimp in the north.
Remember?
So I don't know. I mean, I've got a airfield now over here, so I can attack. I've basically taken down that stack he had with my strikes. So.
And you took out his airfield too, right? That's very significant.
I did not actually. I haven't attacked one.
What? There was one west of Tindouf, which you took out while taking Tindouf.
I've walked through it. Yeah.
So you've got some aircraft going towards your boats, Tim. What are the odds that he's gold played some naval strikes?
So what? Oh, so he is active now. He is watching. Why isn't he attacking back with his ships then? What a weird guy.
Air superiority. 4 air superiority fighters are attacking your destroyers.
Yeah. Oh, he has attacked with his ships now. There we go. Right, so yeah. So he's online, he's watching. He's paying attention.
Hello. By the time he sees this, hopefully he'll be dead.
So your destroyers, Tim, have 8 defense against the air superiority fighters is air superiority fighters have 1 attack against your boat, so they'll take double damage, but they will still damage your boats.
Yeah.
You're going to hit back at his stack in 24 minutes now, and he's going to hit back at you in 57 minutes. 56. So it's on. There's a battle going on there. You've got quite an advantage, haven't you?
Yeah, it kind of makes me wish I'd hit Algiers on my way past now, just to thump those.
Yeah, but if you hit Algiers, then you would have had an awkward cooldown before hitting his boats.
Boats more important.
Most likely, remember when you hit an air base, you've got to hit it below 40% to stop the planes flying. And even if you did that, he would have been flying out of Constantine. So that is really not a winning strategy in my opinion. I think like if you survive this naval battle with enough hit points, like you were saying, you're just going to go straight to Uruagla, right, and just destroy his port. Do you want to stop him making any more boats? And sure, like he can rush another level 4 naval base if he wants. It will cost him a lot, but he'd also have to instantly rush some boats up, because if you were to get to that port, which would only take you a couple of hours, as soon as that's hit once, it's on 90% or whatever, then you just can't build any boats on it, right?
Yep, and he's got to keep spending his money to keep repairing everything.
And once you've established naval superiority, then essentially that's 4 of his main cities gone. He's lost Tindouf, yeah. He's not taking that back. So he's going to be struggling for fuel. If you can destroy Algiers and Iran, he's going to be struggling for rares and supplies, which we know he's liking to turn out lots of regular troops, and he's researching lots of stuff. So, I mean, he'll have to continue bankrolling that. Constantine, unfortunately, you will not be able to hit, and he's making some significant units there. He started making SAM turrets, right, because he's reacting to our strike fighters. And
has he started making SAMs?
Yeah, he certainly has. He's got 1 sitting just south in Conchella, so I think we both took about like maybe 5 or 10 damage from it. But nothing too bad. I'm pretty sure it's just 1 level 1 SAM turret, or it could even be a theatre defense, because he's got a level 5 army base.
It's not a level 5 yet. It's not complete.
It was level 5 before we hit it. So this is the culmination of like the 1 or 2 strikes I got in before. My
great.
planes
Well, good job.
Wrecked.
His planes have hit you, Tim, so I don't think you took a huge amount of damage.
No, something like 3. 2.6, I think.
He'll have taken 6 or 7.
Yeah.
Okay. So he's got 4 air superiorities. At least he's not like prolific and making full stacks of everything. He's spending the money, but I think he's on a budget. But he's certainly spending the money.
He's on some sort of budget. His spending is just, it's like sporadic and a bit random. Like he's not actually doing anything that will win him the game or win him the fights. He's just, churning out infantry and churning out. You might as well have built a 5 stack of boats. At least then it would have actually made some progress. But no, he went for 3, and and now they're gonna, he's just gonna lose them, and that was a waste of 10,000 gold or whatever it took to speed them up.
Next hit, you're gonna kill that destroyer, right, and then instantly that's 1,500 components gone.
Yeah.
Not significant when you kill that the cruiser. Well, that's what is that 2,500?
Destroyer's 2.5.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Cruiser's 3.5, I think.
God, it's loads, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, it's 2,300 gold for 4,000 components, so he's spent a lot. Plus the time speeding up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe he'll build aircraft carriers. We've seen that tactic before, haven't we?
Yeah.
So you're retaking these cities in the west.
Yeah.
I think you should definitely stick some forces on Layun, because he likes running down the gauntlet on that western passage.
And maybe even a bunker, I don't know. On Layun.
So just below Layun, there's 2 provinces which, if you sit at the centre of those, it will entirely defend the west coast. The one that I currently own, Terene, and Ad Dachira. or you could sit one above in Bir Mogdarine and sit some troops in Leon and then quickly move them across to Meares to defend.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, he can get round you if he goes to Lamsid. It's Oh no, we can't. So yeah, it just depends if you just want to be reactive or just set up a defensive wall like we've done in Death Valley. But it's a little bit harder. Like we've just managed to completely plug this in, and also overnight my mobile anti-air did do a fair bit of damage to his helicopters and his planes.
Did it? Brilliant, especially the helicopters.
Yeah, I think I took down 2 or 3, and Tim, you finished them off, didn't you?
They're not showing any enemies destroyed.
They're not.
When you click on them. No.
Oh, okay. It must have the kills must have been attributed to your troops then, your armored fighting vehicles. Yeah, he's got 1 kill.
My fighting vehicles. Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
I mean, they definitely contributed.
Oh, but then he did bounce into my fighting vehicles with a stack of troops, didn't he? So is it that? Be cool if it.
I did. Oh, actually, I did just upgrade them to level 3 like overnight as well.
Yeah.
Stats. So it's really impossible to say.
Oh, you upgraded them. Oh, okay. No, yeah, I think you probably did take him out because when you upgrade it, your enemy destroyed count zeros, which is a shame, isn't it? It's such a shame.
Yeah, if there's one thing I'd like to see change in this game is to have like a running kill count. So at the end of the game, you can see your 1 MVP troop which carried you all the way through. Which most likely be a strike fighter, but you never know. It could be that random anti-air, or it could be that troop that you had from day 1, which defended all your cities and then went on to invade everyone else.
And I love where I've seen in games before where, like, say you've killed loads of enemies with one of your units, they get stronger, more experience and stuff, and they get buffed stats. That's quite cool when that happens. But you
should get like little medals and like new armor and stuff like that, like promotions that you can see.
That would be cool. Yeah, but they keep the game simple. You can really overcomplicate games as well. You really can.
That is the beauty of this game, is that it is simple. We've seen other games where like they spell it all out for you with all these different battle planning, but we're just sitting here doing it ourselves, really. And I think that's the beauty of it, isn't it?
Yeah, simple things for simple minds, Jonathan. Just saying.
Well, we're all playing this game, so what does that say?
Says you're simple.
Okay.
You got me into this game.
There we go. and who got me into this game?
Innocent bystander. I'm just looking at Libya because I'm going to attack them now, and it looks like they're building level 2 army bases on on 4 out of 6 of their cities, where they've already built it on 2. Just wondering if they've gone and it's just the computer taking over now. Is that a classic computer AI?
Yeah.
Trait, build level 2 army bases on everything, then just pump out
fighting vehicles, yeah.
Fighting vehicle, yeah.
Once we've taken, so I'm also moving into Alpha Shear. That would be my first target. But then we could both move towards Moot, this new victory site, and then go back to back here. How do you feel about
that? I've got an excess of fuel. So
I mean, like, neither of us actually need fuel, but it's the points strategically in this game. We need to lock this down, and it's going to be part of me taking Sudan anyway. Aside from that, after I take Alpha Shear, I'm going to be moving to Al Galed because I desperately need more components.
Yeah, I need to prioritize components over anything, and I'm just looking at As-Sadir and Libya just being a bit tricky to get to.
Yeah, you really need to take Zilla and then move via the water. They're not going to have any boats there. Your only other option is to go through Egypt, and to do that, you'd actually need to go through this through Moot anyway.
I'm looking at Egypt and I'm fancying the land, and well, maybe by the time, maybe I could go for Karga to get the components.
Problem is, we were to take Egypt, then that puts us next to the big dog.
Oh, who are
Iraq.
you saying is a big dog?
Iraq.
Over the pond, still over the water,
Yeah.
and we take the strategic canal.
But do we want to be right up against another one of the big players right now?
Iraq hasn't taken Oman. Why is
hasn't.
that?
It,
In fact,
I
hasn't
don't know.
Oman fought back?
he's sitting there with 21 cities right now. So he's in fourth place city-wise.
He's got to keep taking over Turkey, 'cause he's committed. And he's landlocked with loads of others that are probably a more logical choice.
Yeah.
But to take Egypt, we've got to go over to his landmass and bump borders. So
If we see him start to take Egypt, then we should definitely push up to meet him. I just think it's good to have Egypt as like a buffer between us for now. See what I mean?
yeah, well, for now, fine, because I'll take Libya, but yeah, Egypt's not going to last long.
No.
I don't
No.
think.
It's currently being swallowed up by Sudan, so that will help me if they're fighting between each other.
Yeah, that's cool.
Just need to get rid of Algeria. Just our life's gonna be so much easier once he's gone.
Yeah, what a pain in the neck gold player that keeps sucking our resources and slowing our progress and halting everything.
Yeah.
That's all it is, because it's not
Mainly.
winning tactics. He's not beating us. He's just taking our time up. Like,
Like a vampire sucking our blood.
Fun to waste my gold.
casualties haven't really been well, apart from your officer, obviously, a few days ago. But
In the
casualties
beginning.
haven't been too bad.
Planes.
Yeah, well,
more
yeah,
Troops.
not like horrendous.
And how many of his
But,
troops have we killed?
So many of his troops.
30? Maybe? Like, oh, okay, let's do a little roundup. We can have a look on the newspaper, right? So when you get these news articles saying, oh, there was fighting between so on and so forth, it usually says at the end, casualties since the beginning of this conflict. So for me, Cameroon, I've lost 5,495 people, and Algeria has lost 10,444. Now, it's not really certain how that's calculated. Some of it is like assumed, like, say, for example, one motorized infantry might be like 300. And an AA might be slightly less or slightly more. I think it's more for boats. And I think it would also take into account the population on your cities. But basically, whoever's got the bigger number is losing. And that would suggest that I'm beating him by 2 times. And I think what's your ratio with him, Tim?
I'm just trying to find it.
If you go on the news and then myself, you should have a report from like
It's-
small hours of the morning.
It's just not. I've not got anything with. Oh wait.
So-
Yes. Okay, it's significant. 6,000 to 22,000.
Wow.
All right.
Yeah, I've just found the stat. So yeah, Ghana 6,296 against Algeria 20,000. Nigeria, which is me, 9,600. Algeria 11,600. So even though I was like an early victim and took a massive hit, he took more. And then Jonathan, you're on 5,400 versus 10k. So yeah,
between all of us, he's lost about 30,000, and we've at the most lost like close to 10,000. So yeah, he's matching all of our armies combined and losing all of them at the same time. And you can't help but wonder if he'd organised it a bit more, maybe he would have done a bit better with all this stuff that he's bought. There you go.
Yep.
Yeah, we're gonna have to see how this goes. I've got a feeling like he keeps like escalating things. So now he has cruisers. Before his most powerful boat was what did he send down south to you, Tim? One destroyer or two?
Wasn't it?
I didn't actually see it. It just shows as task force on my log.
1 or 2 destroyers maybe.
Yeah.
And now he's got a cruiser and 2 leveled up destroyers, and it just kind of keeps ramping it up slightly, so it's just enough to take us down. So we're getting stronger. We're building. We can wait.
Yeah.
Alright, our powers combined.
Surely he's got to hit a point like where it just isn't worth trying to salvage this game anymore.
He's going to
Like,
start researching missiles and nuking us, and that's a
yeah, we've got
losing
to just
strategy from
stop
his
that from
position.
happening.
God.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like he could, but it's so much
Yeah.
resources to go into it.
Yeah.
I'd rather that than him get some like meaty tanks or some strikes. Like if he'd had a decent amount of strike fighters, then we would have been screwed by now.
Yeah.
There you go. He's still on the back foot. He's still playing defensively. He needs to reclaim his cities, build higher level army bases. You know.
What do you mean he's got nearly a level 5?
Sorry, arms industries, not army bases.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and get more morale and more population. So his capital's on 2.6 now, which isn't great. You want to be at around 6.5 at this point.
Yeah, 400 electronics now a day.
Yeah.
It's not a lot.
And currently 275 fuel a day, and boats, they use a lot of fuel, don't they? That's something significant to consider. If we're going to have a naval battle which extends beyond this one, then you should push up and take Tazate to really, capitalize that.
True. Yeah. He'll already be running a deficit, I imagine. So yeah, I'll just go for that next, I suppose.
Oh, I'd love to see what his resources look like. There's so
Tragic.
much going on his screen. They're all sitting at 0, and he's desperately spamming gold.
I guess, I mean, I really struggled when I put an agent on that airfield. I was really low on money for a while afterwards, but I guess we could put an intelligence officer if anyone's burning money.
Not quite yet. I think, especially you need to reserve your money city.
Yeah,
I'm starting to put offers up to buy resources on the open market, maxing them out. So I've put an offer up for 800 components. I know you two can't spare any, but if anyone wants to sell components, that means they have to sell them to me. Even if somebody else puts an offer up at 15, which is the max, then because mine was up first, it will get fulfilled first.
Oh,
if anyone
nice.
puts up an offer below, then it still sells it to me because it gives the player the maximum money. I'm guaranteed to get those resources if anyone's selling them. But what you find is people just don't sell on the open market. You've got everyone wanting to buy, nobody wanted to sell.
Yeah, it's tricky to try and buy resources. Some you might get filled. It's a lot of money, and if someone's struggling for money because they just want to buy I don't know, a building or something, they can take a bit of cash, can't they? Especially high level ones, take a few grand.
It's one of the things, especially in later game, and people start getting more real estate, then cash just isn't an issue at all. I actually had around 20 grand that just accumulated earlier today, so I've used that to put up my offer because you've got to float the cash up front when you're putting these offers down. So I put 12 grand toward this speculative offer. I've still got plenty.
Sounds good to me. Oh, research. I'm doing all right on research. I've got a few rare materials coming in, and I'm not quite using. Well, I am using supplies now, but I'm. Oh, wish to God it would tell you what you're researching, but you got to try and work it out. Level 3 armored fighting. I'm going for more hit points, and then reinforced armor on something. That's the armored fighting. Oh, okay, and then level 2 SAM. And I'm building a SAM. So yeah, shortly his air superiority fighters will get licked if they come too close. But it still doesn't help me with the helicopters. But you do have your 4 AA guns, and they are sitting. They took a bit of damage, but they are sitting on a field hospital, so they'll very slowly recoup. And I'm sending my combat recon to join my armored fighting vehicle and infantry there. It looks like they took a bit of a hit, so holding that front. I think he thinks we've got more than we have there now. So, and he's not really tried attacking with 6 troops and almost instantly lost them. So I think that will really deter. I think he thinks there's quite a lot there that he'll steer clear of. That's why he's trying to send his boats around, and
He's lost like probably half the troops in this battle just in this one province. So I think he's got good reason to think that. That's definitely why he was trying to explore pushing through in the west. My guess would be he's going to try and replicate that and just send some troops straight through to Layun again. So be ready to catch him. He'd probably show his hand and take Tindu first, though. I think he's also thinking, right, I need to get boats around there, which is why he's focusing on naval. But what's his play after that? That's the question.
Well, you're looking at the west. There's actually a 2-tile width, the shortest. It's
Yeah.
That's where 2 tiles on the west, 1 in the middle, and then Libya in the east for now. But interestingly, once I've taken Libya, I'm only 2 tiles away from Ouagla, and then actually now we're only 2 tiles away from Bechar. And you're always close to Tindu, so the world is going to shrink. And let's have a think. I'm not a million miles away from rockets. I kind of am. I'm messing around with building level 2 bunkers on my and still maxing out arms industries on my supplies and cogs just because I need the components and stuff. But yeah, I'm gonna move toward army base level 4. Let me just see what I need for rockets, unless you know off the top of your head.
It's an army base level 4.
Yeah, okay. And arms industry. Yeah, so once I've got a couple of SAMs, which took ages to start building, but I've got one in complete in 10 hours, 11 hours. Queue up, because I've got the Security Council membership. Can queue stuff up, so I'm going to queue up an army base. Okay, I can start building the army base level 4 in 7 hours, and then it's going to take 1 day 17 hours from now. Tells you that. I'm not short of any resources for it, which is cool. So then I can build rockets, and yeah, that'll take my sort of supply. It's not a surplus really, but it will take the supplies production. So yeah, SAMs and rockets will take my supplies, and I've not got many. I've got 900, but that's building up to build more stuff. But you also use a lot of supplies when you're researching, don't you?
Yes, yeah. It's a big bottleneck actually for me right now.
Are there a lot of supplies for sale? Or have you bought all yours?
I've bought all mine. Yeah, there's no more offers left. So based on that, it's probably best to research your troops that use components first, so you've got more supplies going into the late game. When you actually want to start building rockets and stuff, so maybe just get like low level rockets and then get your armored fighting to a high level first. I don't know. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think what I'm going to do is not build destroyers because I just can't afford it, and I'm just going to focus on armoured fighting vehicles and then a mix of mobile SAM and rockets. Right. It'll be interesting to bring the rockets round Libya side, just so they get a bit closer to Ouagla. Maybe.
Yeah, definitely reinforcing alerts. And what I'd say is just create like a narrow passageway through one of these provinces and deliberately leave some of Libya's land until you start cracking into Algeria. And this is because I've observed him avoiding wars. So he had a clear route through Mauritania, but he chose to go around it to avoid going to war with him.
Okay.
So you can create like a little channel and force him to either fight you there, go to war with another country, and then what I'd say is if he does choose to do that and take all of the provinces, have like a little insurance province right at the back, so somewhere east of Al Sadir, somewhere that he realistically will never be able to take, and that you have full control over taking whenever you want to end the war.
I get you, but part of me really would like to be right up against his border and have him getting pretty nervous about that.
Oh yeah. I mean, you could do that with these provinces that are right next to Iwagla, but if you were to take the province far south of Nullet, then while you're sitting there, he could easily just skirt around the back of you and then take the Buziyama complex off you. Then it wouldn't necessarily get you anywhere. He slipped into Mauritania because he's taken Morocco and it's linked him up with all of Tim's land that he's taken here. But he was stopping for the longest time, not taking Morocco, while there was still the country in between.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll see. But I quite fancy. I know what you're saying. I quite fancy the idea of butting up against him, and then you can just pop out at him. Might be that we could pop out all at once we're on all sides. You can't really defend against everyone at once.
He says.
Unless you're a gold player.
Hopefully it won't last that long. Like if this naval battle goes well enough, then Iwagla would have fallen by this time tomorrow.
Yeah, and who knows? Maybe I can get some troops up there. I could do with a few more troops. I've only got. This always ends up happening to me. I've got one troop there and then one troop there. I think I've got 2 troops. 3, 1 down there.
Oh, Tim, what you could do now is use your strikes to attack his city, because then he'll be faced with a choice, right? Does he attack your boats with his air superiority, or does he attack your planes? But
oh yeah, his air supers are busy,
anyway.
And he's lost an air super actually, so he's got 3.
That's gonna be really important. I think he's doing more damage to himself than it's worth actually attacking your ships with these at all. He just needs to accept that he's going to lose these boats. Look, he's
here we go.
Lost another destroyer.
That's it. He's lost a destroyer. You've just attacked him about 2.5 minutes ago.
Still there, Tim?
Yeah. Oh, sorry, I was just reading it. I've got to get back to work soon.
Okay.
Sure. Do you want to give us a rundown of your overview of what you think about the boats, what's happening with his air superiors and defense stats?
Yeah, I saw them flash off the screen. I think I did another 7 damage to them, and I've taken another 2 or 3. I've done another 27 to his ships. So I'm pretty much double his stats now, attack and defense. So I doubt it will do much damage to me. He might shave off a destroyer on the next attack, but I think I'll finish with 2.5, 3. Hopefully.
That's pretty
it's
good.
It's not going to be as quick as I thought it would be, but
considering he started off with a cruiser and 2 destroyers, and you had 4 destroyers, it's a pretty good trade-off, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
Maybe you could peel off 1 destroyer. If you know
true.
he has no other boats to contest, then you could keep 1 back and hit Iran. If he's going to make more boats, then you definitely need to keep them all together. Key one, isn't it?
Just keeping an eye on his naval base. If I see that naval base, I'm tempted to just go and hit it, just to do a bit more damage. To the
when you've taken him out, just bowl round with
my strikes.
Yeah, with your strikes, 100%, because his planes are occupied right now, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, unless he's put his SAM there. Where's his SAM?
It's north in Cancella, but it didn't do that much damage to you before. I think, if you were to go in, you'd be highly likely to lose 1 plane.
Yeah. Let's go for it. Let's go for it.
Nice.
Got another one on the way anyway.
And you've got your... Oh, you've got a damage strike fighter here. Have you still got your air superiority? Oh, you have.
Yeah, I've still got them.
Maybe it's worth sending that in with a stack of 4 strikes, just in case. I don't know.
Yeah, potential.
I think an airborne officer would be a good shout because they've got a good mix of everything, don't they?
Okay, nice one. Well, the fight goes on. You're attacking Uagla with your strikes, and the boats with your destroyers. It's the Tim show tonight. He's doing us proud, and
Yeah.
Jonathan and I are not doing a lot, but we're expanding elsewhere, and hopefully I'll be able to come up his side, just add more pressure. In the meantime, you're doing some pretty smart attacks there, Tim.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a bit unlucky that he came online, to be honest. Just like it was unlucky he came online at 4 o'clock this morning and targeted Jonathan's planes. Could have got through that
Yeah, I mean,
without
I
taking any
took a
damage,
risk,
but
so
it was like really bad timing. I was watching it. They literally just crossed paths, and he was literally heading for the province where your AA was.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, oh, that's going to take a load of damage now from the AA, and then he just turned around and followed him.
Ugh,
Gutted.
gross.
Bad timing. Whatever sleep schedule he's got.
All right. Well, any last thoughts, boys?
Not from me.
No, not from me.
Cool. Well, I've got to move on with my life, so it's goodbye from me.
That's goodbye from me.
Goodbye from me.
Have fun at work, Tim. Over and out.